Project Pan, we're going to be doing a whole makeup inventory because I realize I've never shown you my collection. I don't think it's super excessive and most of this has been given to me as gifts, but I just kind of wanted to take you through it. So starting off with eyeshadow, I have 11 palettes, and I'm considering a palette to be anything with more than 2 colors in it. And I have 13 individual eyeshadows, so I'm going to show them all to you briefly. We're going to see if there's anything we can declutter. We'll see what happens. This is all of my eyeshadows. I've got a bunch of like weird little individual. Here I've opened all the ones you couldn't really see before. Interesting. So starting off, I've got this Maybelline Blush Nudes palette. This is the one that lives in my makeup bag that I travel with. I take this everywhere with me. As you can see, there are some colors that have significant dents. So like this one over here is really commonly used in the winter. I use these pinks a lot. So obviously this is a keep, but this is something that I've had for way too long. So hopefully we'll be able to make some progress with this. Then this is another small Maybelline palette. I actually got this, I think, in high school for some kind of play production. As you can see, I've used the pink and the white quite a bit. Then what lives like on my vanity, I've got this LA Colors Day to Night palette. I don't remember when I got this, but I like it quite a bit. I probably use this orange and white the most, but I really need to kind of experiment with my eye look. Next, I have this CoverGirl Jewel Toned palette. I have used this for so many things, from formal dances to different events to like costumes and stuff. You can see I've pretty much messed with all of these before. I really like the gold and I really like the pearl, probably the most. I've experimented a lot with the green and like this blushy color too, so we'll see what kind of progress we can make with that. Next, I have this Bronx Colors Archangels palette. This was given to me by a friend. I don't know that I've ever actually used this. I've definitely taken it places with me before, but some of these colors are a little darker than what I typically use, so we'll see about that one. Then I have this little tiny Beauty Value palette. This actually does live in my makeup bag that I travel with. I don't think I've ever touched it though. These colors are a little bit bold for me, but maybe we can experiment and see what happens with that. Next, we've got this Revolution makeup palette. These are all pretty neutral. I use this occasionally, not very often, but I do like that there are a lot of shimmery colors in here. I'm noticing a pattern that I kind of just have the same colors over and over, which is interesting and a good thing to know. Then I also have this MAC Studio palette. This was given to me as a gift. I think I've swatched all these colors, but I don't know that I've actually used it that often. Next is this Enticed palette. Let me see if I can get this open. The mirror is starting to like come out of the top of this. I use this palette pretty often, actually. This palette's actually really useful, but I don't tend to travel with it, so it just kind of lives on my vanity. And then finally, I've got this She Glam palette from the Care Bears collaboration that someone gave me as a gift. Love this. I never use it though because I'm like scared of running out of it. I think it's so beautiful. I would love to experiment with some of these colors and actually like get some use out of this palette. So we'll see what we can do with that. And then the last one that I consider a quote-unquote palette is this teeny tiny little New York color guy. As you can see, it's messy. I've used this, but we'll see. Next, for individual colors, the one that I do think I'm going to declutter is this Avon. It's just a single eyeshadow, but this color is so, it's like a dark plum. I never ever reach for it, so we'll declutter that. Next, I have 2 City Colors Shimmer eyeshadows. I don't know if you can see those colors. I don't use these very often, but they could be incorporated. We'll see. I'll give them a second chance. Then we've got this Ulta eyeshadow. There's kind of a dent in here. I use this decently often, just kind of as a base color. Then we have an LA color. This one is pretty similar to the last one, so we'll see. Maybe I need to condense and like not have so many of the same shades. Then we've got some Hard Candy and Sally Girl. This shimmery one is super messy, but it's super useful. I also have a bright green. I never ever reach for this. We'll see about that one. And finally, I've got 4 Sally Girl mini individual eyeshadows. Let me see if I can pick them all up at once. They're kind of cute. I like those. And then 1 little Revlon pink. I actually do reach for this one pretty often. So those are all the eyeshadows.